For parts of the UK, the weather is about as serious as it gets over the next couple of days. So serious, in fact, that the Met Office have issued a rare red warning.
It's the worst flooding Hereford has ever seen. The River Wye has hit record levels.
Fire and rescue crews did what they could in the face of the powerful storm. Storm Kira's arrival lived up to the forecasters' warnings.
The drains are struggling to cope, causing frustration for drivers and pedestrians. They've not seen anything like this for 200 years. Severe flood warnings remain in place on the River Team tonight, which means there is a threat to life. A major incident has been declared here and in nearby Hereford.
Storm Dennis brought a month's worth of rain in just 48 hours.
After 2 storms in 2 weeks, much of the country is saturated. A week on from Storm Kira, communities still await the full impact of Storm Dennis.
This new and until now unknown virus has killed 4,500 people and infected 125,000 around the world. The outbreak of coronavirus is now undeniably a global crisis and is now officially a pandemic.
From this evening, I must give the British people a very simple instruction. You must stay at home.
Boris Johnson has declared that the UK is past the peak of the coronavirus outbreak and said that he will set out a comprehensive plan next week for gradually lifting the lockdown.
I think it's safe to say that 2020, for me personally anyway, has probably been the worst start to any calendar year in my lifetime. Certainly that I can ever remember anyway. It's been probably 6 months now since our last video, and pretty much just going to talk about what's happened between then and now. And obviously I don't need to go into much detail, as we all know, sort of events of 2020 certainly won't be forgotten anytime soon. But I feel like we should just go back before we start, just go back a little bit and just talk about what we've been up to in those 6 months, because although we've not actually been fishing since, well, I think December was the last time that we actually went fishing as well, we've actually been quite busy. So obviously the year kicked off in January, and sort of mid-January we got another call from Darren and Yvonne over at Red Mill. We managed to get a ferry, we got over there and we did a work party. Usual things again, we sort of did some tree planting, stocked the lake, we netted the lake again, added a few of the sort of smaller fish from my stock pond. One of the really nice things that we did this year was we planted lilies as well, and obviously as sort of recent pictures show that they've come on really well and really nice as well. So got some beautiful lily pads now going around the island. And then we move into February. So obviously we had, for us, me and Matty obviously were quite involved with aqua products, so we had the shore commitment, so we did the Northern Angling Show this year, which coincidentally coincided with my birthday.
Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday dear Jack, happy birthday to you.
And then that was pretty much it for February really, and then obviously what happened in sort of early March, we were due to do the Farnborough Show, the big one down south for us. Obviously I don't need to go into too much detail, obviously as what's happened in March too much, but that's pretty much where we're up to. So we're here now, we're back on the Syndicate, although it's been a long time. Welcome back to Syndicate Diaries 4, don't want it to be all too doom and gloom. We're back on the Syndicate for the 4th session. And the way that sort of, obviously with everything that's going on, there's been a little bit of change just for the sort of short term on the Syndicate, where you can't really book onto the swims or whatever. It's more of you get drawn out and you get sort of, you know, you get to pick what you want where you come out in the draw. So I've actually ended up on Stalkers for this session. We're limited to 24 hours only on this particular sort of short term rule, if you like. So I'm not here for any longer than that. So I've stripped down to the absolute bare essentials. I've brought the littlest minimalist kit possible, but hopefully I'll manage to get a fish or two, because I've brought the maiden voyage for my new aqua rods. So hopefully I can get a bend in the rod just to see sort of how they play and how they fare up. It's probably about 2 acres in size. I think there's probably 30 fish, 30-40 fish. Again, I might be completely wrong, but I think there's about 30-40 fish. But it's beautiful. There's lots of overhangs, as you know. The island's got like a long bit, so there's like it's more of a spit, if you like, more than an island. So there's a nice sort of safe haven for them around the back, so they can feel quite safe in getting there, and they do get in there as well. But I've never actually had a full walk around myself yet, so I know absolutely nothing about this particular lake. So again, you know, it's whole part of the Syndicate Diaries. It's all about the journey for me. But you know, sometimes fishing for me personally is not always about, you know, catching fish. I know that sounds a bit cliche, but it really isn't for me. You know, fishing is all about being outside in nature. You know, this morning we've seen deer out, you know, in the fields next door. It was beautiful just to see, you know, wild deer. Got some baby cygnets as well. It's a beautiful place to be, and fishing for me is all about being outside, especially, you know, with everything that's gone on recently. It's just nice to be out. So catching fish is as beautiful as it is, you know, and that's why we come. It's nice to be outside and in nature, and that's what does it for me. So as a lake, this ticks all the boxes for me. It's quite small, it's intimate. You know, I can use my new aqua baiting spoon as well, which I've used to good effect for my left rod, which obviously ties in with sort of how I'm setting up. So there's a nice sort of snag to the left, sort of to the island, if you like, where I am. And I've just used my new baiting spoon just to put a solid bag under there. I have been told off some of the existing members that that's quite a hot spot as well, so a little bit of inside knowledge, but nothing's happened yet. And then my right rod's to the same island, but there's like to the right hand side of that, if you like. It's just sort of cast in, and it's just clipped the trees as well, which is beautiful, and it's gone down. There's no donks or anything, it's quite silty, but yeah, it's gone down really well. Unfortunately, during lockdown, Matty and my sister, they welcomed a baby girl, Ella. So unfortunately, because obviously the newborn, and Matty sort of had Lucy as well last year, who I think is the biggest anyway, he's dropped his ticket for this year, which is quite upsetting really. You know, I really enjoy spending my time with Matty. He's my brother-in-law, you know what I mean, I'm my best friend, so, and you guys, you know, is part of this channel, so it'll be sad to see him, but every cloud has a silver lining. Unfortunately though, because Matty's dropped his ticket, it meant that there was a space free. And my dad managed to nip up that ticket pretty soon on, so my dad's joined this year, so hopefully we can start making our memories of our own. And as a new member as well, as you know from the France video, if you've watched that, is Tim's joined as well, which is nice. So hopefully between the three of us, we can catch a few out over the next sort of 12 months or so. Unfortunately, we've sort of coincided that we all managed to get this lake as well, so hopefully it's the start of things to come for this sort of diary piece. But yeah, I just thought that I'd update you guys on what's happened really, more than anything. See where we're at, sort of let you know why I'm fishing this lake, and sort of tick all the boxes. So we'll crack on. I'll get some baiting, hopefully have some grub, and update you later on before the night, I think. it's the first night now. Just thought I'd give you a bit of an update. I've not really said much, to be fair, today, but no, it's been a really good day actually. The other half came down, and with my little girl we had a really nice picnic, which was lovely. Got fed as well, which was always a bonus. But no, we had a great time. We sort of caught a few tadpoles and that, and we went mini beast hunting and all that stuff. So yeah, no, it was lovely, to be fair. So I've not really done that much in terms of updates. There's actually been absolutely nothing showing all day either. Obviously I'm doing this update really late because I've stayed up as late as I possibly can do for the light, and there's just nothing. There's absolutely nothing been showing whatsoever. So because it's my first night in the Syndicate, well, on this particular water anyway, I was kind of half hoping that, you know, we might see something, but the reality is we haven't seen anything. Hopefully we can get one tonight, but I'm going to stay up a little bit longer just to sort of see the last of the flame, and hopefully see if we can see one jump and stuff. But for now it's been very, very quiet. Rods are still out from probably about 4:30, so I've got my left rod still in a solid bag, just spooned in under the sort of overhang to the left, which, like I said, I've been told that, you know, that's a decent spot. So and then my right rod's kind of to the same island again, just clipped on the edge of the trees. So went out second time, not first unfortunately, but second time was absolutely perfect. So hopefully we can see you through the night, but if not, we'll see you in the morning.
Well, good morning. It's about 5:20 now, and unfortunately there's nothing to report, I don't think, not from my point anyway. Yeah, it was pretty quiet last night. It put a bit of rain down for about an hour as well, which was surprising because it wasn't forecast to be any rain, so I hope that came about 3 o'clock. So to be honest, I hope that was that might have turned them on a little bit and put them into a bit of a feeding spell, but not even a liner for me at all. I think my dad had a bit of a liner or two. I saw his head touch on it about, I don't know, about an hour ago, about 4 o'clock. But yeah, apart from that, it's all been very quiet, which is a shame. So I've always found that, obviously, as you know, that catching fish is usually about 5-6 o'clock, so it's usually around now. So I feel like I've got this window of opportunity probably to nick one. But yeah, I might sort of have to admit that probably got it wrong this time. But like I say, it's a new water, I guess, you know, for this ticket. So it's all a learning curve. And like I said, the only thing that does disappoint me a little bit is that I've not seen anything show. So I've had nothing to go off. So for the next time that we come, it's not like I can say that, oh, you know, I learned that there was fish over there or whatever. So there's still nothing to go off. So I'm hoping that, because it's still quite early yet, that they might get set themselves going. It's first light now, so I'm hoping that I can see something. But yeah, apart from that, I think the most important thing to do right now is get a brew on and start the day from there.
Morning, it's about 7:30 now. I've had a bit of change of tactics, just sort of the last 5-6 hours. I've got to be off for 11:30 due to the 24-hour rule that's currently ongoing on the Syndicate. So I just thought I'd change it up a little bit for the sort of this morning for the last couple of hours. I've moved in my left rod, which is on the bush, to the bottom corner, which was down there. I've actually cast that one to where my right hand one was last night into the bay, because I still think that looks quite good for a bite, truth be told. It just, you know, when I've seen nothing shore for 24 hours really, and I just think that you've got to go with your gut when you've got nothing to go off. So I've sort of put my left hand rod there, And then yesterday, sort of through the day, I was feeding a small spot to the right island, to the right of me. Just been catapulting a few boilers in over there. So obviously nothing happened last night because I didn't put anything on it. But obviously I just kept that spot going. This morning, because I've nothing to go off, I just thought for the last few hours I'd put my right rod on there. So both rods are back out now, change of tactics, still same one on a Ronnie and one on a solid bag. So again, there's nothing else I can do. I've been up since about 4:30 and there's just been nothing showing. There's not been any bubbles, there's been absolutely nothing, you know, it's been dead really. So it's been quite difficult. So hopefully there'll be a change for the last 4 or 5 hours. So I'm going to get a brew on, probably have some porridge, and yeah, I'll probably update you if anything happens for the rest of the day. Right guys, well that's it now, that's the end of the session. Unfortunately it's obviously ended in another blank, but you know, it's a learning curve, and I think with everything going on in the current climate and everything, I think it was more important to get out and get fishing. I know nothing about the lake, it was fairly new, you know, even though it's on the ticket, I've never fished it before, so you know, it's all a learning curve. Hopefully next time we come we've learnt a little bit, but it's been difficult sort of, you know, with nothing showing, nothing crashing, absolutely, you know, nothing at all. So I've had nothing to go off, just my gut really in the weather. Obviously I've been following the wind, I've been in the thick of it, but everything seemed prime for it, but unfortunately nothing happened. So sometimes that's fishing. Again, you know, it's quite insignificant in the current climate, and it just feels nice just to be allowed back outside, truth be told. But yeah, obviously until next time, I hope sort of this little piece that we put together just is something. Obviously I had intentions of doing a couple of sessions together, but I appreciate it's been probably 6 months since we last put a video out, so I'll put a sort of short piece together. Unfortunately there was no fish, but you know, sometimes that's fishing. And you know, when I set off on this Syndicate Diaries sort of journey, you know, I did disclaim that I'm going to document everything, blanks and the times when we catch as well. So hopefully, you know, you can enjoy or continue to enjoy this journey with us, and mind you through the bush, and hopefully, you know, we can get a fish on the bank next time. But as always, leave any comments. You know, we can only get better with the videos and what sort of content you want to see. You know, we can only do that with comments and feedback and stuff. So good or bad, I'll take it all. So yeah, hit that like button if you wouldn't mind, leave a comment. If you haven't done it already, press that subscribe button, help sort of build the channel. It'd be a massive appreciation from me. So yeah, that's it, I'll wrap up now and I'll see you next time.